Welcome, everybody. I am Ian, as always, your main host, the one that's most important. That's why I talk first every time.
He's responsible for the show.
He's responsible
Right
for the
behind
show.
Christian.
Actually, I'm responsible for him being responsible for the show.
We just let him say that. I don't know. We don't know what he talks about anymore. Let him sit in his corner.
Anyways, you are.
My name's Christian.
I am Patrick.
And we are, as always, the Circle Podcast.
The Circle.
Today's a pretty special episode, guys.
Yeah,
I gotta
what's
say.
the date today?
It's a
boys?
holiday.
Yeah, it's Hitler's birthday. I'm
It's-
really
yeah,
excited.
I know.
Oh.
I mean,
Really
we're going to be
excited.
talking all Nazi all night.
All Nazi all night.
All Nazi, all night.
There's the name of the podcast. This episode's called All Nazi All Night.
420.
Yeah.
2 for
Hashtag
1.
Hitler's birthday.
2 for 1 specials. Great deals on the Third Reich. Come and get them while they're still hot.
Let's take a turn quick. All right.
All right, so
uh,
what are we
today-
drinking tonight?
It's 420, and what are we drinking tonight,
Yeah,
boys?
what are we drinking? Totally, yeah. So, all right, we do have this whiskey tonight called Eagle Rare.
Oh, wow.
It won a shit ton of awards, I guess. I don't
Ooh.
know. It says,
I guess.
according to the label, it won a shit ton of awards. Some like gold medal and whiskey distillery. I don't know. Like every whiskey pretty much says
Yeah.
that they've had some kind of crazy award. So I don't know.
Who knows?
But let's see. So it's basically a bourbon whiskey. So it's like made in like Kentucky and all that shit.
Tennessee. And
Yep.
The Deep
So
South.
anyways,
All
yep,
right.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Do a
boys.
great night and a horrible morning.
Oh, yeah. It's better than I thought it would be. When I first smelled, oh, whoa,
I don't
got
quite.
some back end though. Too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Made me burp, Christian.
Yeah, no, that is flavorful. That's
pretty.
for sure.
That's like thick, dude.
Yeah,
It
I'd say
is.
thick
Syrupy almost.
Yeah, that is definitely a way to describe it. And
It's kind of
I'm not a big fan of the smell.
Oh, no, it's very, like-
kind of smell.
like nail
Rubbing
polish remover.
alcohol-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not as much as that Havana Club. That shit was disgusting. I'm probably gonna actually drink this bottle, but
Good
I don't know.
choice.
It's decent. And of course, there are no other illicit substances in the mix because we are good people.
We are good people. Good, true-hearted alcoholics.
So,
yeah.
this is actually looking to be a pretty good year for pot legalization, isn't it, Ian?
Yeah, I would say it is. I mean, well, obviously we've had so much luck with all the states lately, but there are like a lot of drawbacks, honestly. And when I say drawbacks, I mean people bitching and moaning.
Uh-huh.
So one of the issues that kind of I've noticed has popped up is all the states that surround like Colorado and that are around Washington and all these places. They kind of hate on the states that have legalized, and they kind of hate the fact that people are like trafficking this stuff in large quantities now
Of course
into
they
their
are.
states. And it's kind of scary because when you think about it, that's like the kind of stuff
Think of
that's
the
gonna,
children.
yeah, yeah. But that's the kind of stuff that the federal government will like kind of they'll be on their side with. It's a way for them to kind of say, look at the problems this is causing. But even though in this case the only problem is the fact that it's illegal in other states.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's a kind of a
Yeah, it's like the
self-fulfilling
opposite
prophecy,
end
kind of
of
self-created
the
problem sort of
issue.
thing, you know?
But then you
really a
also have to
self-fulfilling
think
prophecy.
about things like mailing, you know? I mean, how much shit gets shipped to a country that's not even neighboring
Yeah, that's a good point. It just seems
by
like
that country? But I mean, I know what you know you're saying by that, both of you. But
But I think that, a lot of places are coming a long way, particularly here in Wisconsin. They just passed, well, this isn't technically marijuana legalization
I think
or
we
anything.
talked about it last week.
No.
Did we?
I think so. The CBD.
The CBD oil being
Yeah,
passed?
we have
or
talked
2
about
weeks
it
ago,
on the
maybe.
show.
I think we did once.
Yeah, because I think one of my teachers, his kid or whatever, I think
yeah,
that's why we
that's
brought
maybe
it up,
that's
because
what
it
it
was like to
was,
stop seizures. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So at least we're pushing in the right direction. And I think, sorry, what were you going to say?
Well, speaking of CBDs, I went down to the local BP to pick something up, and this guy, as I'm telling him what I want, he like starts selling me these like they're called magic sticks.
Magic sticks?
Yeah. And he said, yeah, dude, they're just like, people kind of mix them in with their shit, and they say, like, oh, it just helps me chill out at the end of a night. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, it's just natural CBD, just kind of like mixed with sugar. And I was like,
From the gas station,
yeah,
legally
Where?
being sold.
I bought a grinder there, too.
What a weird gas station.
I know, it is weird. It's run by
What?
Indians. It's
Well,
cool.
Wait, is that the BP that's right by your house?
No. I wish it was.
Well, that's
it's in
it. That's really
Economox.
interesting.
Dude,
I haven't
that
seen a gas
BP has the
station.
best food ever by your house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
much
it does. It does.
They
It's
have
great.
there's like a restaurant in that BP.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the place Garrett works has really good like pizza and stuff too.
Oh,
You'd be
really?
surprised, but it's really good.
Yeah, that's
If
like
you ever
the
buy,
one
like,
by his. They have
mobile.
sandwiches and shit. They're
Yeah.
so good.
Welcome to the Food and Gas Stations podcast.
It's really great. The weed, food, gas station, and beer podcast.
No,
That's-
but you can buy
all interesting
CBD from
stuff.
the gas station.
That is
Apparently.
That's weird.
It
I wonder if he
was
was just trying to
strange.
sell you like
Man,
some
we need to get into this
fake
market.
shit.
now.
I thought this was gonna lead into like what the fuck is that shit called? The like fake weed. Like what did everybody call it?
Oh,
K2
K2.
or
K2. Yeah, I thought he was gonna be like, oh yeah, do you want to buy some K2?
What was the other one with an S?
Salvia.
Salvia.
But salvia
yeah.
wasn't synthetic weed. Salvia
Well, no,
was
that's
a
a
synthetic
plant.
hallucinogen.
Yeah, and
Well, was it? I don't think it wasn't synthetic, was it? Was it just a plant that made you?
it is a
trip?
plant. Salvia is a plant.
Well,
it's
okay.
a flower you can grow.
Yeah.
That's not illegal.
What a weird. Yeah, that was one of
And
those
then
things. They
someone
only
found
sold
out
it
you
at
could get-
the local pipe shops and
Yep.
stuff. But it's like I don't
Well,
really
bags of K2.
want
It's
that.
like, yeah, I'll pass, man.
No thanks.
Don't
But-
need it, don't want it.
Yeah.
So right now, this year, as so far as we know, there are currently 22 states plus Washington D.C. trying to legalize pot.
Is
But
Wisconsin one of them?
I don't know.
God damn it, Christian! You always have half information.
I didn't
Well,
want
no,
to. I didn't
doesn't
want to
Wis-
just list off a bunch of states.
Doesn't Wisconsin
Well,
like throw
look up-
a
see if
ballot
you
or
know
whatever out like almost every year?
A ballad? Oh, yeah. I thought you said like a ballad, like a song. Maybe, so they put
They
together a
make a
song for
ballad every
marijuana
year, man.
legalization. These stoners are getting weird.
We legalize.
It was tremendously underwhelmingly effective.
Tremendously
underwhelmingly effective. It was so underwhelming. I need extra adjectives to describe just how piss poor of an attempt it really was. That would honestly be better though, wouldn't that be? That'd be so awesome. Like on the parade that they do every year, that, like where they march on the Capitol and they're all smoking weed and singing like some shanty tune about weed legalization.
And they talk about it on CNN, and it's like, well, Blitzer, what did you think? I thought it was tremendously ineffective.
That
Wait.
does seem like the probability of it reaching anybody is it's pretty high if you ask me.
Actually, the probability of Wolf Blitzer having an opinion is pretty low, so I apologize for bringing everybody that fake news.
Who's Wolf Blitzer?
A guy from CNN who's
Oh, okay.
basically a robot.
All right, he's basically a robot.
So
That's interesting.
on top of the 22 states and the capital trying to legalize, we also have 12 states trying to just decriminalize it.
Yeah, that is definitely the first step. And like honestly, you know, when it comes to like drugs in general, decriminalization is in my eyes kind of one of the main things we have to do if we're gonna actually fight the war on drugs.
It should be treated as a health issue rather than
Yeah,
like
well,
a
and you know,
crime.
it's really interesting because you look at places that have legalized weed, and even since like in California, they have had a huge. Well, California not so much because they've had it like basically legal for so long, even though
Oh,
it just
yeah.
legalized technically. But drug overdoses from like opioids and all that stuff is down up to 19% in these
Ooh,
states.
yeah.
Which is a fucking unbelievable statistic. That's so cool that it's having, and obviously that's just a correlation. We can't prove
course.
that that's the
Well,
causation.
But we can make a pretty safe assumption.
about
that
I don't like
it's
making assumptions.
likely.
I don't like making
It's-
assumptions. I'm just saying like that's a cool thing, and if weed was the reason why, then that's really cool. But
And
they
think
also did change a lot of
think
laws
about
when they
that
passed
percentage
so.
drop in an area around here of opioid overdoses.
I really wish that would
I
happen.
can
be
probably
nice.
think of 3 people that would still be alive that I know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it really sucks too. My cousin actually worked at this clinic out in California where they would take in heroin addicts and you know these people that were stuck on really hard drugs, and they would basically give them free weed. And they would give them a bunch of free weed, and they said,
Yeah.
whenever you're like fixing, try. And they would really,
Just
they know
smoke a
really
little weed.
well, and they know all the strains really well, which is the most important thing. Like some people, like
Oh.
in order to simulate kind of the feeling you get from coke, you use that really heady, light sativa that gets you creative and up and active. And for the people that were like into heavy opioids, you give them the deepest, darkest sativa you
Yeah.
can possibly manage.
Sleep.
Couch,
on the
yeah, it's like
couch.
just like smoke until you either pass out or like don't feel like
Something,
doing
yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
So weed is a gateway drug away from other drugs.
Yeah, it's the gateway to
A
sobriety.
gateway
And-
drug.
Well, see, a lot of these people with the opioids, I think that part of my theory would be a lot of people go to that for kind of like pain relief, wouldn't they? And
For
they
opioid stuff?
they
Oh, yeah.
might just kind of
Well,
want
it's
to
like 'cause they
be.
get
What kind of
sick.
pain?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Mental pain?
Like people that
Not
go to
mental pain.
opioids, like people
Yeah.
that
Well,
like
it's
originally they get like prescribed a
Oh
prescription
wait,
medication.
no,
What are
I'm
you talking
thinking. I
about?
think I'm thinking of heroin.
I'm confused by what your point is, though. Just like, so you're
Well,
saying,
people go to marijuana as an avenue to be like, oh, it gives me pain relief properties. I don't need to go for that other kind of sketchy shit.
yeah, I guess I've never heard that.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I don't know. Like after I got my ACL torn, dude, going down in the garage and getting high as fuck helped.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like it's never gonna be as good of a painkiller for
Well,
like
no,
actual.
no,
if
it
I got
wasn't.
my
No,
ACL
it
torn,
wasn't.
I
But,
would
like,
have taken whatever
if
the fuck
I
they
had
gave
just
me.
taken, 2.5 of my fucking Vicodins, which
Yeah.
was more than they told me to take, and
Yeah,
it
but
still
everybody-
hurt,
they
going
always-
down and smoking a fat bowl
I suppose
helped.
in that sense. Yeah, in addition to not
Exactly, yeah.
in like replacement of for sure.
Speaking of which, we got 16 states putting medical marijuana on the ballot.
Nice.
So yeah, that's pretty nice.
Like if they're gonna go medical, they should just go recreational. Because once places go medical, it's just like I have
just-
anorexia, I have glaucoma,
I have
have
insomnia.
yeah. And then
I
it's,
can't sleep at
You can
night.
go in for depression.
yeah, there you
I'm
go.
going for anything.
Literally, they would just want people to be able to buy it.
I want to get high at itis.
There you go. I'm sure there's a doctor who'd be like, just rephrase that, please. Just say the word glaucoma, and I'll write your prescription.
Probably, dude.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, okay, what's really interesting to me about the whole like Wisconsin shift too is the fact that I don't know if you guys heard about this. Actually, we might have talked about it.
We may have.
The fact that Madison is looking to become a completely renewable energy based city, which means
Okay.
that there would literally be no fossil fuels or anything used in like or like coal or any of that stuff for our energy. And there are some states that have done this. Pretty small ones though is kind of the problem. Is the places that you see do this are really small towns that are completely renewable energy. And even so, we're just setting aside funds to look into a way to do it. Like everybody kind of wrote this off as like Madison's going to be renewable.
Oh, so we're
It's like,
just kind
no.
of looking into
No,
it.
we funded research with like MGE, Madison Gas and Electric, to try to figure out how to make it more renewable. But all the titles were basically,
Like
oh,
saying
Madison
that
is
it's
renewable.
fully happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, drop my phone.
Dude, don't break your screen.
I know, right? But basically, I
me.
was just saying, I think that with marijuana being tied into that, there's a lot of options for renewable energy there.
Oh god, yeah, and especially how lax they are when it comes to marijuana.
Well, and the thing is, like, we have a lot of farmland in Wisconsin, you know?
We do.
And if we were just able to take some of that farmland
Especially
and
around
use it
Madison.
for, industrial stuff, in basically just growing hemp so we can get all the different stuff for that.
Which is a billion times better than any other
Yeah,
material.
well, and you look at the places that are like made to be forested. They plant the trees in one area, they let them grow, and as they cut down the ones next to them, and it's just this big endless cycle, which eventually ruins all the soil and stuff there. You could do it,
And just the plant life.
well, and you could do it for a quarter of the time, and grow, hemp there, and then it rejuvenates the soil, and it takes a quarter of the time or something, and then like it's a little disappointing that we aren't able to take advantage of that, especially because it would take down some of the like problems with emissions and stuff for all the lumber industry and everything, because it takes way less power and everything to tear all this shit down, and all these machines that need to be powered. There's a lot to this, more than just like kids that want to get stoned.
Oh yeah, no. Well, the whole thing, a lot of people speculate, is tied very, very greatly to like old paper companies that just kind of wanted to put hemp out of business because it was an infinitely better material. And
Yeah, William Randolph Hearst
Yeah.
was the first guy to run all the smear campaigns. I only learned this from like Family Guy when I was like 13. There's like the perfect speech on it.
Right.
Yeah, and he ran some smear campaign, and that was why they started all the Reefer Madness videos and shit. And then everybody bought it, and then it was illegal forever.
Yep.
So I think this is a pretty good segue into. Does anybody here want to hear the history of hashish?
Sure, but just so you know, nothing's a good segue when you say, "Hey, this is a good segue." Then you've broken the continuity of what a segue is meant to exist for.
Hey, this is a good segue. Wait, what is?
But go on.
Okay. Anyway, so
Is it? Wait, let me take some guesses, because I only know a little bit about it, but I think I remember some basic stuff.
Okay.
So let me take some guesses.
Okay.
Was it originally Nepali monks?
Nepalic monks.
Yeah, from Nepal, rubbing for hash, for like the hand hash, where you rub your shit all over the plants and then stroke it up into a ball.
Are you talking about as a means of getting intoxicated?
I'm talking about creating hashish. She said you were gonna say the history of hashish.
Oh, well, okay, throughout the entire, I was just using hashish as like an overall general thing for weed in general.
Okay,
But
well that's not.
I know it's not. But actually, what's interesting about this is that while I was reading about this, literally like everything was hashish. Everything was hashish up to a certain point.
Because they didn't use the plants I suppose I think you probably read this too then. In fact, they didn't really use the plants. They would rub their hands all over them.
Yeah,
and they
I
would
think.
and they would wipe off all that shit, right? Mm-hmm. That's as far as I ever knew about it. Because, yeah, before they ever did that, they were just like, oh, sticky plants. And then somebody would, like, fucking ate it or smoked it. And it's like, oh, this
Made
is...
some tea
Well,
with it or something.
you know what they
Yeah,
probably did? They probably like tossed it on a fire and was like, "Oh, let's see if this smells good or is."
I think they
incense
made
like...
tea with it.
You think they made tea with it?
Interesting.
That's
I think
like
the hash was probably the first thing. They probably just smoked the hash. We've all got different ideas. What does it say in your thing? Don't you have the history right there?
Well,
No,
I don't.
just attack me.
Hold on.
Every time.
I
You
haven't
do all
even.
this research and you organize it.
I haven't even said anything
you
yet.
Read anything yet? We've already discovered that
Just-
it has half
and you're just
information.
Criticizing it before
Get to the
anything
fucking
is
point.
said. No, there's like you can't find anything on the first guys who got high.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, I
Well,
figured.
of course you can.
I'm pretty sure
There's
it's-
probably some monkeys like thousands of years ago.
Anyway, so it first originates, as far as we know, in a place that is now modern day Taiwan, right? And it's dated about 10,000 years ago, and it's hemp cord that was used in like pottery. And what's interesting about that is that you okay there, Pat?
I'm not smoking, that's for sure.
Dude, Jesus Christ, man.
10,000.
Jesus Christ.
Don't bring him into this. 10,000 years ago was actually when humans started really kicking off agriculture. So that makes it kind of one of the first cultivated crops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, not cultivated, but like,
Used.
produced.
I made that,
yeah.
and they help make beer with all the wheat and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's it.
This is kind of interesting. In 1977, Carl Sagan suggested it may have been the first agricultural crop leading to civilization itself.
That is quite the stretch.
No,
Holy fuck.
it's a speculation. In fact,
Yeah, that just sounds like way over the top. Like,
can I read the quote in his voice?
oh, sure.
I've been waiting.
I've
for
never
this.
really heard Carl Sagan talk
been
that
Oh,
way.
you've
Sorry,
never?
No.
Didn't you watch Cosmos?
What?
No, I never watched
I
it.
watched
Ne-
Cosmos.
Oh, Cosmos is great.
What?
I only heard about it through the Neil deGrasse Tyson one, and that was so shitty that I never wanted to watch the other
I
one.
wouldn't call it
Oh,
shitty.
man,
It
It's
just
so
wasn't as
shitty.
good.
Well, okay, the
Which
thing I
one
hate about
was
it,
that?
it's filled with really basic science for like kids or something. It's like it was built for people who never paid attention in science
That's
class.
kind of the point. It's for laymen.
Everything is built up of an atom. Now, let me explain to you what an atom is. In it's teaching 6th grade science.
What is an
I
atom,
don't.
Ian?
When it comes to DeGrasse, I don't think you know him from Adam.
I-
Ooh.
Okay.
Anyway, here's the quote.
All right.
It would be really interesting if in human history the cultivation of marijuana led generally to the development of agriculture and thereby civilization.
That's
There
almost
you
like he's
have
not
it,
even
folks.
making a statement. He was like, it would be interesting if.
Well, yeah,
There's
it's
no
not
real, like,
he's not saying
what
he
if?
knows for sure. It's
Yeah.
just like, hey,
That's weird. What if?
what if we're all here because of pot?
Yeah, that's just a weird ass
What if
statement.
we are
What if we're
pot?
all here because somebody invented a guitar?
That's
What if
true,
we're
too.
all here because somebody invented drums? What if we're all here because somebody invented the chair?
Well, hey, without
I mean, you could do that with everything.
Without
though.
agriculture, we'd be in a pretty rough
Well,
place.
agriculture as a whole, but not weed. Like, I think we could have gotten along if we
but
just had like
maybe-
food and everything. I don't think we needed weed to
The
like.
people needed weed so bad that it was a gateway drug for agriculture. Oh,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And while I don't have the first recorded instance of people getting high on marijuana, I do in fact have the first medical marijuana usage application.
Oh yeah.
Yes, by Emperor Shen Neng of China in the year 2737 BC.
Wow, so he's like 600 years ahead of us.
Yeah. What the fuck?
BC.
Yeah.
I know you guys.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus, Pat.
What are you, fucking high or something?
God, it's not 420.
It's not. I only celebrate Hitler's birthday.
Sarcasm.
Dude, I don't know what sarcasm is.
I know you don't. I can tell.
So, oh my
We're gonna get
God.
through this history at some
No,
point.
the history of marijuana, if you will. So
So we're gonna get through this at some
we're
point.
gonna get through it at some point. Now in India they had it. They called it bang or
Ladesh.
bahang. It's like it's got an H in it. It's
Bong.
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 That's where the term
Sure.
bong.
That's.
came
I mean, I've seen other words with like the BH symbol.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
usually how they say it in movies. So I don't know. Still could be a bastardized version of the word.
So that shit's in some Hindu text called the Athavaveda.
from. So that shit.
I kind of did that on purpose.
Very,
That's some
very
good shit.
Hindu text.
You can find it in this sacred
Oh, we
text.
sound so legit, dude.
So educational.
It's referred to as sacred grass meant to be offered to Shiva. And whenever you pass it to Shiva, make sure you pass it to the left.
God. I can't believe Neil deGrasse didn't accept our invite to be on.
Yeah, I know, man. What the fuck?
Oh, man. I
Yeah,
bet.
so that shit's in some Hindu text.
What do you think about that,
You have to
deGrasse?
pass the grass to Sheba to the left.
Fuck.
Here's a
Dumbest shit. This is the dumbest shit.
Thank you, Christian.
So here's something kind of funny about what happened next. In the year 105, legend has it that Sai Lun invented hemp paper. But the thing is, we know that it was invented 200 years prior. So my theory is that everyone in China got so fucking high, they just forgot. They were smoking a joint made out of hemp paper, and one of them was like, "Whoa, what is this shit, man? Dude, you invented that."
We made
Yeah.
this.
It must have gotten lost in all the book burnings or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I have no idea if China did book burnings or anything.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I mean, every culture has at some point, right?
Speaking of books,
China
this is a
was
great
pretty big on
segue.
book burning though for some
Yeah.
of the emperors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm correct.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. You're totally
Pretty
right.
sure
You're
that's
totally
why they're
right.
like burn all books. Except
All
for
of
what
them.
I say. which
Yeah,
is
except for like the
probably,
two I wrote, my
Yeah.
biography.
and the
I
two
wrote
that
is
are
like-
like about me that are really good.
Yep.
That's probably about it.
Yeah.
So something called canbus I think.
Cannabis?
Canbos is mentioned in
I
several
think that's
times.
pronounced cannabis.
Yeah, I think
You think you're just
trying to say
mispronouncing it.
cannabis.
That's not how it's spelled.
Man, you're an idiot.
It's actually got a K.
You got the spelling wrong too.
K-A-N-B-U-S.
yeah, it's spelled Kanbos.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Canbos.
Cannabis. That's how you spell cannabis.
All right.
Okay, anyway, it's mentioned it's mentioned several times in the Jewish Talmud, which
Interesting.
yeah,
Oh, I
that's,
can see the Jews fucking chonging, dude.
For some reason, that sounded like really like just. Like, I can see the Jews doing that. Like whoa.
whoa.
Like, I get that you
man.
just like said it, but for some reason your like impact came off like, oh, I can see the Jews doing
Oh
that.
yeah, I bet they're all a bunch of druggies.
Fucking Jews. I can see him chonging hardcore.
So that's kind of
I don't know,
interesting
little yarmulkes and shit.
because this.
It's the little hats that do it. They're like, somebody was high as fuck. They're like, dude, your hat's tiny.
They're like, let's put this little hat on my head, dude.
And then it just became the norm.
Yeah.
We got some great theories. I think
Hey.
most of these are right.
Have you ever really looked at your hand?
Oh, good God.
So the Talmud is like actually a commentary on the Old Testament.
okay.
Yeah, and it's like taken really seriously in Jewish culture. And in it, canbos which is cannabis, obviously. I think we established that. Is
don't think we did.
crushed along with other spices to make the oil to anoint Israeli kings.
What?
Get them
Yep.
fucked up.
Yeah.
That's
Put this shit on
crazy.
your bread and eat it.
Yeah.
So isn't that kind of funny how we have all
Whiskey
these
high,
fundamentalist
whiskey
Christians
high.
running around all anti-pot when they don't
Well,
really
even if you
get...
just like
Yeah.
Google like or look shit up in the Bible, there's weird terminology.
Let's
Like,
face
with
it. The
the
guy
burn-
talking.
burning?
Herb.
I was just gonna say,
You
face
know?
it. Like Moses talking to a burning bush. Like what? Come on.
God, he was burning the bush.
Oh, by the way, you stole that joke from somebody. I know.
Jim Gaffigan.
Okay.
Oh,
sure.
that's who it was?
Yep.
I feel like
I-
I stole that
well,
joke
I
from
started it-
everyone.
Dude, you
Like,
Schumered him.
who wouldn't
Yeah, you
say
Schumered
that?
him. Yeah, you're just so unoriginal. Your joke has been said before. You Schumered him.
So
Fucking Schumered him.
here's kind of a funny thing. Baking bread cooked with cannabis in the Talmud is described as a praiseworthy act.
Nice.
Let's do it.
That's a good job.
Seconded. And
Bread. I've
Let's
never
see your
really
mom
seen
bakes
recipes
some
for that
shit.
either. Like making a can of bread.
Yeah,
That's
I've never
interesting.
seen that.
That'd be awesome.
I
Then get like
wonder.
can of butter, can of bread, make a can of sandwich.
This is a can of sandwich.
That just sounds like I put a can between two pieces of bread.
It sounds like a sandwich that I opened
Wait.
out of a can.
Oh, you can get those. You can buy like hamburgers in a can, like completely.
What?
They are the most disgusting looking thing you'll ever see. in your
Someone
life.
must have
Well,
been
I can
real
only
high when they came up with that.
No,
You know
they
what?
must have been really like fat and lazy. They came up with that,
You know what?
dude.
My
Let's be serious.
what, a can burger?
If
A
they
can
were
burger.
stoned, they would have came up with like some like artesian bread with like bacon and lettuce and a bunch of crazy cool shit.
I think you're giving stoners a little
Not
too
a-
much credibility.
What?
Like all this artisanal shit,
Yeah,
man.
but they're not gonna be like-
I lie on the floor and eat Cheetos when I'm stoned.
Yeah, but you don't lie on the floor and crack open a hamburger from a can.
Hey,
Come
crack
on.
open a fresh hamburger. You
Yeah,
like
come on.
drink it.
Like, let's be serious. I would rather eat the Cheetos than a canned hamburger.
I just want to know who had to be in the marketing team to sell that shit. Like they came in like, all right, sell this. Like, fuck is it? It's a hamburger in a can. Get the fuck out of my office.
You know what I think it is?
Fucking leave.
A can't burger. Rejected.
We need to have a buzzard. Yeah.
This is kind of interesting. Some
What did you just do?
They're sticking together. I don't know. I have things and they're
That
sticking
tripped
together.
me out.
Pat's amazed by it.
That tripped me out.
Talmudic rabbis would also write that the plant banishes morbid thoughts. What do you guys think of that?
Dude, it's pot.
Banishes
These
morbid
people.
thoughts.
Yeah, these
It's
people.
pot, man. I
That's
don't get
creepy.
morbid thoughts when I smoke pot.
I
don't
do.
either.
I do.
Well, then for Ian, pot is the morbid thought maker.
The morbid thought maker. Is that like a
MTN,
job? That's like an
man.
artisanal job back in the day.
Yeah, you smoke pot and think of
The morbid
thoughts.
thought maker. Okay, there's a wagon. It's
Whenever-
teetering off a cliff. It's on fire. It's full of kittens. I don't know.
He's at the carnival to make
Kittens
sure
and
everybody doesn't
children.
get too happy. Children. He hangs out at the carnival, like in his own booth, to make sure people aren't too happy. You know? People walk by, it's like children are starving.
Carnival, but fuck-
Yeah, like that's what he's paid to do.
He's got to like people get too happy, so we got to bring them back down to that mid.
You're gonna die someday.
Yeah.
Death is inevitable.
Your parents are probably gonna die a lot sooner than you, and you'll have to deal with it.
And you were an accident. You were definitely an accident. So King Henry VIII actually decided to fine farmers for not growing hemp. Isn't that something?
We
That's interesting.
should start doing that.
Yeah.
Fining people for not doing that?
You want
Or
to
for
take that to the
not
federal
rotating
government and ask
their
them how
crops.
they do about that. Oh yeah, well the crop rotation is a ridiculous thing.
It is a
the fact that we
ridiculous
allow
thing.
farmers
To not
do
rotate crops.
Well, and that's like God. Now I'm not kidding. This is turning into a GMO debate.
I know.
Welcome to the Crop Circle Podcast.
But I will say that people blaming Monsanto and all these GMO companies for creating superbugs and things that are resistant to the pesticides, it is because the farmers are not doing crop rotations and they're allowing them to feed on the same thing year after year and
Year
grow
after
stronger.
year.
Oh,
when if they
yeah.
grew soy every other year,
And killed the
eggs
population.
then they wouldn't be able to, they can't eat soy, so they can't live.
Well, even on top of that, that puts so many nutrients back into the dirt.
Yep.
For your next season
But corn,
of crops.
corn is worth so much more. We use it in everything. We use it like most
As
of
a
it,
fuel.
Most of it doesn't even
Yeah.
go to like us eating corn.
No, it doesn't.
Like
All of the corn
95%
that you
or something.
see growing is for fuel. Is for
Yep.
ethanol. It
Yep.
is not for your stomach.
Yep,
It's
and
not for
alcohol
Thanksgiving.
and like no, not like maybe
It's-
1% of it goes to that
Yeah,
shit.
it's not even the same corn.
Well,
it's
remember-
a completely different corn that you eat.
When we were driving down to Colorado for no particular reason, we actually drove through what was it, Kansas? Dude, then if you say it, they'll know.
What, dude? We picked up a pot.
Yeah, we picked up a pot. Oh my
A
god!
pot.
I threw a
It's
little
in
piece of
my
paper.
hair.
It landed all the way
Oh,
across the
it's
room
in
in your
my
fucking hair.
hair.
That was a perfect shot.
That's cool.
Anyways, but as we were driving down to Colorado, we drove through what was it? Kansas, I think.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
We drove
went-
through Iowa and
Iowa-
Nebraska.
No, Iowa. Not Iowa. Iowa's way up. Ohio. You're talking about.
Can we open your map quick?
No, we can't. Fucking whatever.
No.
Fine,
Because
we
you
drove through
drive
Iowa.
down south and you
Fine,
hit
fine. We drove,
Iowa,
whatever state we fucking drove through was just.
and then you hit Nebraska, and
what?
then you hit Colorado.
Nebraska. That's what I was thinking.
Well,
Ah,
I said
right.
Nebraska before.
I just forgot to say.
I said
just forgot-
Iowa and Nebraska.
Whatever. It doesn't fucking matter,
And you're
dude.
like, not Iowa.
Well, it wasn't Iowa. I knew that.
Well, it was Nebraska.
But it was Nebraska. You got me there. But it was literally just corn everywhere.
Well,
I would.
Iowa kind of
There was
too.
nothing but corn on either side of you through the entire state.
If it wasn't
Really?
corn, it was just like pastures for like cows and pigs.
That's true.
and
Cows
shit.
and corn. That's
Other
all
than-
it's-
other
like,
than that, it
I
was
think
corn.
that the corn outnumbers the people like 1 billion to 1 there.
Oh, there, yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah,
rise up,
yeah.
man.
The corn is gonna rise
Corn
up.
is gonna rise up.
Children of
It's
the
gonna
corn.
become self-aware.
Children of the corn.
Children of the corn, like that. Just like I got this really weird image in my head now of like corn kids, you know, like half kid, half corn,
corn.
Oh god.
coming out of the
A corn
woods.
cob had sex
So
with
that-
some.
That might have been a
There's a
scarier movie in all
corn
reality.
kid.
So that's pretty surreal. You want to hear something else that's really surreal?
Oh god, here we go.
In 1550, the epic poem Bank O Bode allegorically depicts a dialectical battle between wine and hashish.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
like a metal band.
I dare you to
Thing.
look me in the eye and tell me that guy wasn't tripping balls when he did that.
He ate
An
mushrooms.
epic
He ate
poem.
mushrooms when that came out.
Wine and hashish.
The grapevines are
That's
attacking
a-
the pot plants,
Oh my god.
and I'm on mushrooms.
That is unbelievable. Yeah,
That's what I
man. It
think.
just seems like I'm really glad that we're born in the generation that's kind of getting to change all these laws. You
Yeah.
know? I think it would have been really like in some ways cool to be back in the 70s when it was like no big deal, but it was really illegal and all of it was terrible. Like, let's face it,
Yeah.
weed back in those days
Oh,
was so
it's-
fucking bad.
It's like the
So, like,
bag
in
that I
that-
got.
Yeah, I don't know. And so a lot of like the old people, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For those of you at home, Pat has a giant bag full of just shake weed.
That my boss gave me at work today because
For
I was out
free.
of pot. He gave me like a quarter of shake. Wait, after I asked for a bowl.
Yeah.
Grab me a bowl. Okay, here's a quarter.
Yeah. Where do you work again? I want to apply.
No, you don't.
Get paid in weed.
You get
No, you don't.
benefits.
Yeah, I
you
know, I know.
don't.
I'll just show up on the days when they're giving out weed paychecks or whatever you do.
Or cocaine paychecks.
All right. No, thank you. Sorry.
You know what? I don't think that we're going to get to change these laws, Ian. You know
You don't
why?
think so?
Because pot's a dangerous drug.
It is.
Did you know
More
that
dangerous.
marijuana has killed one person?
Yes.
You know, people. Look, this is kind of cool. People always. Well, it's not cool
Ian's
because
taking
somebody
his
died.
clothes off.
But
Yep.
great
For
job.
your listening pleasure.
There was. Oh God.
Oh god, I saw your stomach, dude.
Good.
For those of you at home, Ian just lifted up his shirt in a attempt at being sultry. It didn't work.
According to you. Let's let the listeners at home decide that.
Vote
no, how
now.
did-
Text to 920-423-704.
How did the guy die?
Okay, so people like to tote around going saying all the time like, "Oh, pot's so undangerous." You know, it's like it's never killed anybody. But guess what? One time, these guys were smuggling pot into, I believe, this country. And what happened was there was like a 2-ton. Are you?
What?
There was like a 2-ton package
It got crushed.
of marijuana. Are you giving it away?
What?
He's
There was
totally
a-
giving it away.
There was a 2-ton package of marijuana
Yeah.
that they were shipping, and it just fell right on him, and
And
he got crushed.
Whoa.
Yeah, you motherfucker!
He said it like 3 times. Like, as
I know,
Five
I
times.
know.
Yeah, no, he.
He
Yeah.
got crushed.
And
No,
see,
I remember that. I remember hearing about that.
it's funny because usually they say that theoretically it would take like 1,000 pounds of marijuana in 15 minutes or seconds to kill you. Turns out it takes 2 tons in a matter of 3.
Yeah, there you go. You know what's interesting is that, you know, there's the whole like, oh, you can't die from THC thing. You totally can. It's just we can't ingest it fast enough. So what they actually could do is they could load up a syringe with like THC liquid, which they can create in, you know, like labs and stuff. They actually use it to test like THC and stuff because smoking is an unreliable thing and it, you know, is bad for you. But so in labs they'll basically make like this THC liquid and they inject it into people. And if you inject enough of that into somebody, they do die because like you just have to inject a shit ton. Because think about it, it's the equivalent of smoking all that weed that's necessary to kill you in
In
a syringe,
one instant.
in a concentrated syringe. And if they just keep like an IV of it, you will fall into a coma and your heart will just slow down and stop.
Ian, now you're gonna scare a bunch of suburban mothers listening to the podcast and thinking when they find their kid's heroin stash,
They're all
is this-
idiots.
Well, you know, it actually does raise an interesting question though, because it's that's gonna hit the market eventually.
Well, at what point do we stop?
injectable weed. Will I
Yeah,
literally
are
be
you
able
kidding
to
me?
inject a marijuana?
Yeah.
Well, look at oil,
Yeah,
dude.
you
Look at
literally will.
oil. Do you
Yeah.
think people back in the 70s were like, oh, dude, in 2000X, they're going to be doing dabs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had
They didn't know
hashish
what a
for a
dab
million
was.
I've
years.
even there's a couple of people I know who are a lot older, who smoke a lot, and they were like in the 70s and stuff. And I had my rig around, and they were like, "I don't want anything to do with that.
See?
Like that looks like that just has to be terrible for you. Like they don't understand the science behind it, so they view it as this
They
dangerous,
just look at it
scary
as this
thing.
gross thing.
Well, especially
yeah.
because like it looks like hard drugs.
It
Like if you
does,
have some
dude.
really shitty oil, it looks like black tar heroin.
I was going to say, it looks like heroin, dude.
Yep. So I can see how that would be really scary for like a parent. Or like the same thing with like nitrous oxide. You guys know
Oh,
like
yeah.
whippets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you do them and there's like it's like one cartridge thing that's like gets you half a hit. So like if anybody was to find those, there's like a garbage bag full of these for like a day of a couple people doing them. You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Remember, kids.
And so it looks a lot scarier, especially when you're with like 15 people. It looks like a lot more than there really is there, and it could be really terrifying. But I could see how it would be like a correlation between like finding like this kind of marijuana stuff, or even some vape stuff, because you can vape the same way that people smoke like heroin. You know, you put it on the tinfoil and let it slide around while you put a lighter under it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can do that with vape oil and stuff, or vape
oh.
juice, I guess you should say.
That's kind of sketchy.
Yeah, no, it's like if people don't have, if they don't have a proper setup, like what the fuck
yeah.
are they called? Like vape pens, I guess. And I don't know. I don't think.
Something
I
like
think that's
that.
the normal term for them. So go ahead.
Remember, kids, keep it clean, keep it green. Just putting that out there.
Unless you're under 13. 15,
Wait.
16. And actually, you probably shouldn't start smoking until you're at least 18, like technically. Actually, they
21 is the optimal
say,
age.
because that's when
or
when your brain
25.
is technically done developing at 25. So that's then you're like technically an adult from a brain standpoint. You definitely shouldn't be smoking weed at 13.
No.
At all. I even think like 15 and stuff is like, I get why, but like I don't know.
I would go like 16 is the most pushing it that's acceptable.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with like, you talk about like alcohol and in other countries, like it's legal to drink beer at 16. You just can't drink hard alcohol until you're 18.
Oh.
And that's what it is in Germany. And I think that those are way better laws. Like I don't know what caused the push. I don't know if either you know either. What caused the push for the whole 21 age thing? Because it used to be 18. Do either of you know like what caused it?
My dad was alive when it was 18.
Yeah, I think all of our parents were. I mean, that was their generation.
That's why he would
that
buy
did
me
it.
beer, because he was like, well, I'd be a hypocrite not to.
Yeah. I'd be a hypocrite not to drink. He bought it for me. I have to. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think we still have a long way to go, especially I think when a lot of these old senators that have held, congressmen and stuff have held office for so long die out. Not to be crass, but that's when there's going to be like the big major national shift, I think.
And it's all going to have to be statewide, at least for now.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently the 21 age was a federal thing. So
What a surprise! The federal government
stepped
getting
in.
something really fucking stupid
Getting
and
their
overly
grubby
conservative.
It must have
hands
been
into my
Wisconsin
business.
had an age of 18, and then the federal government stepped in and said, okay, we need a national standard,
But then I still wonder why they would
So-
choose 21 over 18, since that's what
Who
every
knows,
other
maybe
state
other
had.
states did every other state have
I
that?
guess I don't know that. I shouldn't say that.
I know Wisconsin was 18
Yeah.
just because my dad grew up here. That's the only reason I know. For all I know, every other state could have been 21.
That could be. But like, look at all the other countries. Not a single
No.
other country is 21 or over, I don't think. I
No.
shouldn't say that again
I'm-
because I don't know that for
but
sure.
I'm pretty certain that the majority of countries are 18. Like I'm pretty sure the majority of Europe is 18, right?
Germany's like 16.
Yeah.
I think
think Germany is.
Oh my God, this is way off topic, like super off topic, but I have to say it.
Okay, well,
Just so if anybody's listening to this, that they look it up because it is a crazy fucked up thing that's going
All
on.
of two
Two
people?
quick little things, and that we're gonna basically end on because that's what I was gonna go for.
Great
And,
segue.
Great segue. I know I'm great at those. I love segues, dude. Just riding around on those two wheels.
Get on with it.
Balancing.
One first concentration camps since the Holocaust have been set up in Chechnya. So look that up and get pissed off, I guess.
Since the Holocaust?
This is
Yeah,
way out of
first
left
real
field.
no, I know. I'm just two things I have to get out there, and then also in California there is a senator. Can't remember. some guy that is pushing
yeah.
forward a law to make it okay and not a felony for HIV positive people
I
to
heard
not
about
tell
this.
their partners that
partner-
they're HIV positive.
Yeah.
So go look that up and send letters to that guy because I already did, but like it's
That's
pretty
fucked
fucked up.
up,
And you know what's
dude.
crazier? Who would have thought he's HIV positive?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's
He
super
wants to
fucked
bang
up.
bitches.
So if that pisses you off, tell him about that. But
Oh my god.
just to end on a super aggressively not light note, that's what I was going for.
Way out of left field.
Way out of left.
Yeah, they just aren't exactly like full talking points, and I just wanted people to look it up more than anything.
Yeah.
And now I know you both will, and that's all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
All I ever needed
Yeah.
is here in my arms.
All I ever need. Okay, no, we're not gonna do that.
Nah.
Why not?
You sing it then.
I don't know it.
It's not even a real song.
No, yeah, it is.
What? Really?
All I ever wanted, all I
Yeah.
ever needed was here in my arms.
Never heard that
Who
song.
Is it? Is it
It's like Depeche. Yeah, it's Depeche
It
Mode.
is Depeche Mode.
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Depeche
All I ever
Mode.
That shit I work
wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms.
That's all I
Things
know.
are very unnecessary.
So-
you don't know this song?
They can only do harm, right?
Welcome to Depeche Mode Podcast.
Once again, this. Fantastic. And, all right, that's it. That's it. And fucking cut. Once again, this is Ian.
Christian.
And Depeche Mode.
You can't say that for legal reasons, man. You can't pretend they're here.
Pat.
This is fucking signing off
Signing off.
for the single
420.
podcast. See you next week.